Far out in the open ocean, where land disappears in every direction, the surface looks calm. Waves roll, wind moves. Nothing feels unusual. But below that surface is another world. A vertical world that drops for kilometers. A place without light, without landmarks, without mercy. And somewhere in that darkness lives an animal that doesn't belong to the rules we know. The sperm whale. It is the largest toothed predator to ever exist. Larger than any shark, larger than any prehistoric reptile. An animal with a head that makes up 1/3 of its body, a brain heavier than any other on Earth, and a voice so powerful it can travel across oceans. And yet, for most of human history, we barely knew it was there. Sperm whales don't live where we look. They don't hunt near the surface. They don't rely on sight. They don't follow the patterns of other whales. They spend their lives diving into a place we once believed was empty. A place where pressure crushes steel. A place where sunlight has never existed. For a long time, humans assumed nothing large could survive there. We were wrong. When people think of whales, they imagine slow-moving giants floating peacefully near the surface. Filter feeding, singing, gentle. Sperm whales break that image completely. They don't sing. They click. They don't feed on tiny organisms. They hunt monsters. They don't drift with the ocean. They dive straight down into the dark, deeper than almost any animal on the planet. And they do it again and again, every single day. What makes sperm whales truly strange isn't just their size or power. It's how different they are from everything else that lives in the sea. They are mammals, but they behave more like something alien. They breathe air, but live where air doesn't matter. They are warm-blooded, yet spend hours in freezing darkness. And somehow, their bodies don't fail. To understand why sperm whales feel so unsettling, you have to understand where they live. Most life on Earth depends on sunlight. Plants need it. Animals need plants. Even predators rely on ecosystems built from light. But sperm whales hunt in the bathypelagic zone, often called the midnight zone. This is the part of the ocean below 1,000 meters. No sunlight, no photosynthesis, no plants. Temperatures hover just above freezing. Pressure increases with every meter. At depths where sperm whales regularly hunt, pressure is over 300 times greater than at the surface. Enough to crush an unprotected human instantly. And yet, sperm whales don't visit this world occasionally. They live between it and the surface. They are animals of two realities. For centuries, humans only encountered sperm whales by accident. Sailors crossing the Atlantic or Pacific would see something massive rise from the fog. A huge, square head breaking the surface. A single blowhole exhaling a thick, angled plume of mist. The smell was strong, oily, unpleasant. Nothing about it felt friendly. And then there were the sounds. Ships at night would hear loud, rhythmic knocking from beneath the hull. Deep, hollow thuds echoing through wood and water. Crews believed something was hitting the ship from below. Some thought the vessel was breaking apart. Others believed they were being followed. They didn't know those sounds were communication. They didn't know they were passing through the territory of an animal that could see them without eyes. Fear filled the gaps where knowledge was missing. Sailors gave sperm whales names like Leviathan, Sea Devil, and Demon of the Deep. Some believed they were the Kraken itself, the mythical monster said to drag ships into the abyss. Those fears didn't come from imagination alone. When whalers finally began killing sperm whales in large numbers, they found something disturbing. Scars. Large circular marks covering the whales' heads and bodies. Some nearly a foot across, surrounded by smaller cuts. Suction cup scars. If a whale looked like that, what had attacked it? The idea of the giant squid wasn't a legend anymore. It was evidence carved into flesh. But even as humans hunted sperm whales, we never truly learned who they were. We learned how to kill them, how to process their bodies, how to extract the valuable oil from their massive heads. We did not learn how they lived. We didn't know what they ate, how they raised their young, how they found each other in an empty ocean, how they slept, or how they navigated thousands of kilometers without maps or stars. Even today, much of a sperm whale's life remains hidden. They spend more than 70% of their time far below the reach of human observation. Most of what we know comes from sound recordings, scars, and brief surface encounters. We study shadows, echoes, moments, and the more data we collect, the stranger the picture becomes. Sperm whales have the largest brain of any animal that has ever lived. Not just larger than ours, vastly larger. And it isn't just size that matters. Their brains contain regions associated with social bonding, memory, and emotional processing. Structures linked to empathy and complex communication. They live in tight-knit family groups led by older females. Mothers, daughters, grandmothers, generations traveling together. Knowledge is passed down. Routes, feeding grounds, safe places for calves. This isn't instinct alone. It's inheritance, culture, moving through the ocean. And then there's the biggest mystery of all. Despite their size, intelligence, and power, sperm whales rarely show aggression toward humans in the wild. Divers have encountered them face-to-face in open water. Defenseless, small, vulnerable. The whales don't attack. They approach, they scan, they observe, and then they leave. Animals with the ability to kill effortlessly, choosing instead to understand. That choice is unsettling. So when people say, everything about this whale feels strange, they're right. Not because it's a monster, but because it forces us to confront something uncomfortable. There may be an intelligence in the ocean that evolved completely separate from ours. A mind shaped by darkness, pressure, and sound instead of light. A way of living we can barely imagine. And the deeper we look into the life of the sperm whale, what it eats, where it goes, how it mates, how it sleeps, how it communicates, the clearer one truth becomes. This animal isn't just surviving the ocean. It understands it. To understand sperm whales, you have to start with one simple question. How does a breathing mammal survive in a place that kills almost everything else? Because the depths sperm whales visit are not just uncomfortable. They are actively hostile to life as we know it. At 3,000 meters below the surface, pressure reaches levels that would crush a car into a block of metal. Water temperature drops close to freezing. There is no light, no reference point, no easy way back up. And yet, sperm whales dive there calmly, repeatedly, as part of their daily routine. They don't rush. They don't panic. Their bodies slow down, shut systems off, and switch into a completely different mode of existence. This is not endurance. It's design. A sperm whale's dive starts quietly. At the surface, the whale takes several slow, deep breaths. Not fast, not frantic, measured. Each breath loads oxygen into its blood and muscles. Then the whale arches its massive back, lifts its tail high into the air, and slips beneath the surface. From that moment on, everything changes. The heart rate, which may be around 60 beats per minute at the surface, begins to drop. As the whale descends, it slows further. 20 beats, 15, sometimes as low as 10. This is called the dive response, and in sperm whales it is extreme. Blood flow is reduced to non-essential organs. Digestion slows almost to nothing. Muscles relax. Oxygen is saved for only the most critical systems. The brain, the heart, and the muscles needed to swim. The whale is not fighting the depth. It is surrendering to it. One of the biggest dangers for human divers is nitrogen. When humans dive deep, nitrogen dissolves into the blood. If they return to the surface too quickly, that nitrogen forms bubbles, causing decompression sickness, the bends. Sperm whales avoid this in a way that seems counterintuitive. They let their lungs collapse. As pressure increases, the air spaces in their lungs compress until gas exchange stops. No nitrogen enters the bloodstream. The ribs don't break. They bend inward. Their chest is flexible, built to fold, not resist. This means sperm whales aren't relying on oxygen stored in their lungs during deep dives. They rely on oxygen stored inside their bodies. Sperm whale blood is different from ours. It contains a much higher concentration of hemoglobin, the molecule that carries oxygen. Each drop of blood can store more oxygen than human blood ever could. But the real secret is in their muscles. Their muscles are packed with myoglobin, a protein that stores oxygen directly inside muscle tissue. So much myoglobin, in fact, that their muscles appear dark brown, almost black. When a sperm whale dives, it's not running on air in its lungs. It's running on oxygen stored in every fiber of muscle throughout its body. This allows them to hold their breath for 40 minutes, 50 minutes, sometimes over an hour. And they do this multiple times a day. Then there's the head. A sperm whale's head can be over 9 meters long, about the length of a city bus. It makes up nearly 1/3 of the whale's entire body. For a long time, humans didn't understand why. Inside that massive head is a structure called the spermaceti organ. It's filled with a waxy, oil-like substance. At first, whalers only cared about it because the oil burned cleanly in lamps. But biologically, it serves a far more important role. The spermaceti organ is part of the whale's sonar system. Sound is produced deep inside the whale's nasal passages. Sperm whales are apex predators, primarily feeding on squid, including the elusive giant squid and various deep-sea fish. They hunt in total darkness, relying almost entirely on echolocation to detect prey over vast distances. Sperm whales have a matriarchal social structure, where adult females and calves remain together in pods for decades. These pods are tightly knit, providing protection, teaching, and cooperation during hunting and migration. Males leave the pod during adolescence, forming bachelor groups that can range from a few individuals to dozens of males, traveling across oceans until mating opportunities arise. Mating is seasonal, and females give birth to a single calf after a 15-month pregnancy, but the interval between calves can range from 5 to 7 years. Mothers and other females in the pod dedicate years to raising and teaching their young, instructing them on how to dive deeply, hunt, and navigate complex underwater environments. Pods exhibit extraordinary social behaviors, such as helping injured members, coordinating protective strategies, and even communicating distress over long distances. Young males, upon leaving their maternal pod, carry these lessons into the wider ocean, forming networks that influence entire populations. The complex bonds within pods show a level of cooperation and social intelligence rarely seen in the animal kingdom. And there you have it, sperm whales, the giants of the deep, masters of darkness, and architects of life beneath the waves. From hunting colossal squid to shaping entire ecosystems, they are far more incredible than we ever imagined. Which fact amazed you the most? Was it their colossal brain, their deep dives, or the way they communicate across oceans? Comment below and let us know. We read every response. If you enjoyed this journey into the deep, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more mind-blowing ocean mysteries. Every click helps us bring you closer to the secrets hiding in the depths of our planet's oceans.